This is our time.
Hi, I'm Emily from Pony Mag, and today I'm here with Penny. We're going to be doing some in-hand pole work exercises. These will be really good for building our bond and strengthening her muscles, and they'll be really good for her balance, for proprioception and for her joint health as well.
I've just put her bridle on, so we're ready to go into the school and start warming up.
So I've started my session with Penny by starting off walking around the outside of the arena. This means that her muscles will get a nice chance to warm up, get some blood into them before we do any tight turns or anything that will ask her muscles to work too hard. This gives her a nice chance to familiarise herself with the arena as well. Then I'm just making sure to do everything on both reins, so giving her a nice walk around on the other rein too. So the first exercise we're going to set up is a straight line of poles. So you'll need about 4 poles for this, but however many you've got is fine. And this is how we're going to set it up. This exercise is going to be really good for Penny because it's going to help her to engage her core as she steps over the poles. There are multiple ways that you can use this pole exercise, which I'll demonstrate, but the first exercise we're going to do is on a circle, just stepping over just the end pole, and this is really good for getting used to the poles being in the arena and just giving the pony one pole to look at and just gently stepping over it. The second variation of this pole work exercise you can do is almost like mini serpentines, so you'll be drawing a wiggly S shape the whole way up the line of poles. So you want to make sure that you go nice and wide on your turns, that you're not asking your pony to turn too tightly, and then you're just going to walk straight over the poles so that your pony's body is straight whilst you go over them. Then I'm just repeating the same circles up this end of the poles, going in the opposite direction so that we're making sure the exercise is even and done on both reins. Changing the side that you lead your pony on so that you're leading them from the outside of every turn is super helpful to prevent your toes being accidentally stepped on by your pony. As your pony gets more used to this exercise and starts to get stronger, you can make the loops shallower on this exercise as you go down the centre line, and this will start to increase the difficulty of the exercise slightly. So when you do these exercises, you want to make sure that you're leading your pony from their shoulder so that you're not pulling them or changing their way of going in any way, so that they can really feel the benefits of the exercise at their own pace. Sometimes I got a bit overexcited with this exercise, so remember to stay next to your pony's shoulder and not by their head or in front of them. It's important to check where your feet are walking, but also have a quick check of where your pony's feet are landing to make sure that they're stepping over the poles okay as you go. So here you can see Penny's working really well here. She's lifting up her toes. She's not touching a single pole, so she's having a really good workout. next exercise we're going to set up is raised poles. So I'm just setting up 4 walk poles for Penny. She's got quite little legs and quite little strides, so I'm setting these up at about half a metre wide, but roughly for ponies it would be between 0.5 and 0.8 metres, and for horses a walk pole would be 0.8 to about 1.2 metres apart. It's important to never just use 2 poles, as they might try to jump them, so make sure to use a minimum of 3 poles. So this polework exercise will help Penny to stabilise her back and engage her core, which will help build the muscles that are involved when she has a rider on board. I'm just walking Penny through the poles really simply in a straight line, and the first time round I'm just making sure that I've got the distance correct for her and that she's not having to stretch too far to make the distance of the poles. And this is really important because when we come to doing raised poles, she will need to be able to make them comfortably without having to overstretch her muscles. So we're starting by raising one end of the alternate pole for the start of this raised pole exercise, and this is just to make sure that we're getting warmed up, and this is so that we gradually build up, because once we get to 4 raised poles that is actually quite hard work for them. And then you can adjust this exercise by sticking down to the lower end of the pole, so staying over towards one end will be a lower side for them to walk over, and then you can gradually progress the exercise so that you're walking closer and closer to the more raised end, and this will make the exercise a bit harder for them. So once you've done the alternate poles raised a few times and they're nicely warmed up, you can move on to raising all 4 of the poles, and this will give them a really good workout and making sure that they lift their legs up nicely over them. And then the final exercise we're going to set up is the maze. So I'm just setting up the maze exercise, which is a fantastic exercise to do in hand, just to help increase their flexion, coordination, agility, as well as it uses their core muscles, and it's so good for proprioception as well. We have used 3 metre poles here to make sure that the distances are equal. There are so many ways that you can use the maze, so I'm starting off by just walking straight down the middle of it and over the top of the poles down the centre line. The second way we're going to use the maze is to follow it round through the channels. So here I'm walking Penny in through the gap and then following it round and turning all the way back on ourselves to follow the channel round and to keep going the whole way through the maze. This exercise isn't as easy as it might look, so it's really important to just take your time, because some ponies may find this harder than others, and just let them have a think about what you're asking them to do. Because Penny can sometimes get a bit bored in the arena, I'm switching it up here and asking her to step over the poles again so that she doesn't get bored, and so that she keeps listening to what I'm asking her to do. This is helpful if your pony tends to switch off a little bit, so it's really good for mental stimulation to just keep changing up the exercise and not repeating the same thing over and over again too often. So when you're going through the maze, you want to take it slowly, as we want them to step their hind leg under and across their body as you turn each corner. This will help them to build balance whilst turning and promotes even muscle development and control of their body.
So now we're all done for Penny's pole work exercise. So what I'm going to do is give her a nice little walk around the arena just to cool her off and make sure her muscles have got time to have a little stretch out after they've worked quite hard.
We are all done doing Penny's in-hand pole work exercises now, so let us know how you get on with your ponies in the comments.